In choosing the various casts, there weren't really any defining criteria. We went through them all. We chose some just because they were beautiful. We chose some because they might work as good teaching tools for sketching and drawing in the classroom. The casts are in extraordinary condition considering their age. They are dirty, they're in fact very dirty, but all we really need to do to them is clean them off. We would like to keep a patina of dust on them to give them depth that gives them more interest in terms of sketching and drawing, and also emphasizes their history, that they're historical records.
Well, in the past, the casts were used to literally just train your hand and your eye to draw and to learn the quality of an object in light and shadow. There is no better training for a designer or an architect than that, I mean, quite literally. And of course, if you're looking, the better the object is that you're looking at, the better you're training your eye. That was the point of these collections, that they collected what was collectively thought of as the great monuments, you know, the things that had really stood the test of time, and put them in front of students. And I think that was the primary goal in doing it. And they literally stood students in front of these things for hours at a time, day after day after day, year after year after year, drawing these things. One of the beauties of the collection is the way in which they have scale models of buildings, whole buildings, with then pieces of the full-size sculpture cast from it next to it, so that as an architecture student or an art student, you could see the thing in its context, but you could also study the thing up close. This is a little model of the Arapachos, which is this great monument that was built to commemorate the Augustan peace. And it's one of the great pieces of Augustan sculpture, I guess is the best way to put it. And it has these amazing friezes. You can see them along the side showing the parade of all the senators and lectors and so on. And then this extraordinary decorative sculpting. That epitomizes this collection. The level of skill that went into making that, it would be hard-pressed to find anybody today who could make a model like that.
The art of mold making and cast making is a lost art, and nobody knows that much about it. But when you really look at them, the level of detail and intricacy is really amazing. At the turn of the century, all the museums in the country that had cast collections, or the large institutions like the Metropolitan or the MFA or the Institute in Chicago, had mold making workshops, and there was a whole force of craftsmen who created these casts that have more or less disappeared. So it's really a lost art coming to light.